What's up, Aries? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a general tarot reading for the full moon coming up on October 28th. It is going to be a full moon at 5 degrees Taurus at 4:24 p.m. That's October 28th. It is a hunter's moon, which just means it's the first moon in the harvest season. For Aries ascendant, it'll be in your first or second house. So that's the house of self or the house of your financial possessions. And with it being in Taurus, it may be a good time to really start thinking about internally, specifically, or the way you feel about your possessions and your money and about yourself. So this is feeling like it's a whole lot of to do with like confidence. And it is opposite the sun in Scorpio. So there could be a sexual aspect involved, because that's what Scorpio is all about. It will be in the third mansion of the moon. It's known as Althuria. I can't really pronounce it, but I'll put up a picture so you can read about it. It's really good for gain and acquisition. It's not so good for marriage or things like that, but I'll put up the picture and you can read about it. Bottom of the deck looks like there could be some squabbling going on. And that is for Aries ascendant, first and second house. Let's get you an overall card here, kind of get what this theme is about here. I've been gone a little while. I had to go to Seattle to teach a class, a class on psychology. Then I caught COVID, but now I'm back, and I'm feeling a little better today, so I thought, so I'd do some readings. Okay, what do we got? It's a time for healing. I just had to go through a time for healing. Okay, looks like some kind of healing's going on for you, Aries. Healing is good. Okay. Well, current situation looks like it has something to do with a party or a social gathering of some sort, because you have the Three of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Swords. So this is, you could be refusing to see something, or you can't see something. Like maybe something happened at a social gathering, something that's destined, or your question is about where your life's going, like your destiny, but you can't see it yet. Question could be about, socializing, having a good time, this type of thing. Your social life in general, your friendships. So it could be a question around that. But it's saying it's a time for healing. Could be a healing of relationships specifically, or the way you see them. And like I said, with the moon being first, second house, depending on the degree of your ascendant in Aries, if it's your ascendant, then it could have to do with your inner confidence, the way you feel about money, things like that. It could be, if it's first house, it'd be kind of how you feel about yourself internally. And then with it opposite the sun, you're going to want to acknowledge that, basically bridge the shadow, which is your unconscious world, with your conscious world. It's not easy to do, but it's the path forward. And it could just be that, like I said, you're trying to see yourself more confidently. Like maybe you can't see yourself the way you want to in social situations. Like, are there somebody specifically you met at a party and you're wondering, like what that relationship's going to be like, or is it going to be any kind of relationship, whether it be romantic or just like friendships, that type of thing. But the current path you're on has, Queen of Wands. This could definitely be you, right? King of Wands. So you may be partnered with a fire sign as well. It looks like a power couple right here. But then you have the Devil. So this could be feeling chained to a relationship. So my guess is some kind of relationship that you're getting out of. It could be that there's a social situation that you and your significant other went to, or something like that, or they went without you, and you feel like maybe they did something, or you discovered that they did something. It's a time for healing, though, it says, right? So this looks like a healing of a relationship. When you see it like this is the shadow aspect of your relationship. This is, feeling like you're chained to the relationship rather than, feeling like it's a codependent, loving relationship. And codependency is really a bad word, but if you've been with someone long enough, like me, I've been with my wife for 21 years. There is a codependency there, but it's only to lift each other up. It's not for anything negative. This is more of like an unhealthy codependency, like feeling like you have to be with them for whatever reason. And it looks like, and maybe these are just your friends, right? There are two friends that you see in your life that are a couple, fire signs or fiery type individuals that you're watching their relationship crumble, or even a friendship. But if it's you in your relationship, right, it could be something that you're either trying to heal it, or you may be separating. I don't really see a separation card, any cards of moving away here on this path. So it could be something that you're going to have to work on. And, you got the work card right here in the outcome. So something you're going to have to work on, I have a feeling. Whatever this relationship is, there could be something happened in a social situation that's like, y'all figured something out about each other, that kind of thing. Even whether it be a friendship or romantic relationship, and you're feeling like it's time to heal. And this is the other path that you can choose. Some Aries may be on this path, some might be on the other path, and some may have a choice in between them. This is feeling lack. Five of Pentacles is feeling lack. You get 2 5s here, 5-5, which 5s represent change in numerology. But it looks like you're disappointed, all kinds of disappointment. Could be around money, could be fighting about money in a relationship on this side, right? But it's saying you need to go within. Internally, you're feeling very upset. You're not focusing on the positive. And, a lot of times it's that we don't really focus on what the problem is really stemming from. We look at what's going on around us and we're like, hey, this bad thing is happening. When realistically, while we're feeling bad, it's probably something much deeper. And it's manifesting outwardly from our unconscious in that way, outwardly, whatever the problem is that seems to be the external issue that you don't really have any control over. What you do have control over is how you feel inside, but it could be that unconsciously, and Carl Jung, I study Carl Jung a lot, and he's what I was teaching about in Seattle. And Freud called it repetition compulsion, trying to relive your traumas, unconsciously trying to relive your traumas, right? And that unconscious state is really what's directing and controlling things, right? That wave state. Because when you're unconscious, you're in your waves, like delta waves, alpha waves, theta waves, that type of thing. And then and when they monitor reality and creation in of itself, it's a wave. Until a conscious observer looks at it, then it collapses and becomes particles. And then they believe the collapse of the wave function is reality. But realistically, humans have both phases. What that is the unconscious and the conscious. So when you're conscious, you're affecting things, right? But you're not really programming them or studying them. It's when you're in that wave state that's your unconscious state. That's where everything's being created from. So there's probably something that's not being acknowledged in the unconscious, and it's manifesting itself as worry because it's trying to be relived so that you can really feel it, think about it, and consciously recognize it. So you got to kind of dig deep, and that's what this is saying. Dig deep, figure out what it is that's really upsetting you. Like the external circumstances are one thing, and you have no control necessarily over those. But your unconscious is probably trying to get you to relive something that you haven't been acknowledging. And that's just kind of the way it works. I know I've seen it in my own life. Especially if you're having like weird, vivid dreams, seeing number patterns, things like this. That's how your unconscious speaks to you. It's trying to get you to recognize something. This is the advice. This is balance and patience. This is more balance and patience. With this card beside it, with the Four of Pentacles and the Temperance, it's saying being patient with your money. You got 2 4s here. You got 5-5 here and 4-4 here. 5-5 is change. So you're looking at trying to change the way you think and feel, and I'm trying to explain to you kind of how to bridge the unconscious with the conscious. And you got 2 4s here, which is all about being grounded, right? It's all about having firm foundations. So it's saying you're going to have to be patient and you're going to have to build. So if you're thinking about leaving someone because it's unhealthy, that's good, but you're going to have to, before you jump into anything too quickly, it's saying get your foundations, build it, right? It's saying right now, it just feels like you can't see what you're looking for. It looks like you're blind right here. Maybe it has to do with an individual, like a love partner or a friend. You're not able to really see what you're looking for, the results that you're looking for. You thought it was something that it wasn't. And maybe they're showing you their true colors type of thing. Might be time to move on, find new friends or find a new love partner. But it's saying build it on firm foundations and be patient. And then it's all kind of work. This is saying throw yourself into your work. With that being said, I like I said, if you're unconscious of what is really the stem of like when you're having a lot of issues going on around you and it's making you sad and upset, it's like I said, it's what Freud called repetition compulsion, which is the need to relive traumatic events. And it's believed that 50% of all people that have gone through extreme trauma will go through it again automatically, and they'll seek it out. It's called repetition compulsion. Like abuse victims will be abused again 50 to 75% of the time. I've seen statistics. That's an insane number. Why? Because they're trying to relive it. They're trying to relive the trauma because their body hasn't healed from it. They haven't acknowledged it and had a catharsis. They haven't really thought about it. They haven't really made felt exactly what they needed to feel in that horrible traumatic moment, and then consciously been like, okay, I felt it. Now I'm acknowledging consciously that I felt it for these reasons. Now it's no longer pressed down to the unconscious, and it doesn't have to repeat itself now. Can you fall back into that same pattern? Yeah, of course. Because there's new traumas going to come up in life. But you just have to constantly feel it and acknowledge it and be conscious of it. Don't repress anything. Even like if you have, I'm not saying like if your boss at work pisses you off and you just be like, oh, screw you, blah, blah, blah. No, but you can think it and feel it, and that's fine. Think it and feel it and acknowledge it. But you don't have to, and you want to really feel it and really acknowledge it. That way you don't have to hold on to it, and it doesn't have to be buried in your unconscious and come back in an unusual way. It's crazy how that happens. The outcome is, 9 of rods, 8 of rods, 10 of rods, all kind of movement and hard work. Looks like it's coming in, fast, and it's saying that you're going to have to work hard on whatever this is. Could be a financial situation, right? Could be that you're splitting from your significant other and you're going to have to, build, or from your partner, your roommate, or whatever it is, and you're going to have to build from scratch, or you're going to have to work hard. And it looks like you're going to have to work hard. There's no doubt about it. But it's saying it's a time for healing. So it could be maybe you're getting back with someone, or you're trying to heal the relationship. Something went awry. It looks like it happened in a social situation, but it was destined. Whatever it is, it had to happen. Right there. Yeah, it's destined. You got the 8 of Swords again. Put this on the devil to kind of see. There's some kind of interference, or you feel there's some kind of interference in this relationship or this situation. Come on. Because that's 8 of Swords in this deck is interference. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune again, and then you have the Princess of Cups. Could be a third-party situation with a water sign, or somebody that's kind of in your business that's a water sign that's really kind of, could be a boss. Somebody you're not vibing with though, or trifling in your relationship, that type of thing. And maybe you've been repressing that. Maybe you need something you need to acknowledge. Sometimes you do have to face them. Sometimes you do have to be assertive and face individuals. You know what I mean? You don't want to feel a certain way about being assertive. You don't want to feel a certain way about being like reclusive, because either way it's a bias, right? And then you're repressing that aspect of yourself, because you're never one side or the other. You're both, because each side defines one another. So you have to kind of acknowledge, if you feel like you're going one way, like you're too assertive, then maybe you should kind of dial it back. But if you feel like you're not standing up for yourself enough, that's when you have to kind of go out of your way to be a little bit more assertive to kind of balance it out. And that's how you bring, get off the fringes of where these fractures can take you, and you can bring it back to the middle where self is, and where your authentic self is, authenticity. This is this other path over here. Let's see. Oop, right there. It's definitely has something to do with money on this path. And love again, right? It's worry in a relationship. It looks like it has to do with a personal relationship. I think you're going to have to heal it. Something happened and you're going to have to forgive. It looks like forgiveness is going to be the key here. Because you got the Lovers, you got the Prince of Discs, and you got the Princess of Swords. So, I mean, it could be something with kids with these two cards. It could be that maybe you have kids, right? And you're worried about them. Like maybe you're splitting up and you're worried about your kids, because those two cards can represent children for sure. Could be a message of money. Communication specifically about money with your love partner, right? Because that's the Lovers there. Looks like it's something to do with the financial aspect of a relationship and being worried about that on this path. The ones that are on that path. The advice is saying be patient, be grounded. Like if you want to heal the relationship, and I think I think that's probably what you're going to try to do. It just says be patient. Be patient, be grounded. I mean, it's pretty straightforward on that. This is saying you have to work hard, though. I can relate. Been having to work really, really hard for hardly anything. And all I got rewarded for my time was being sick. Yeah, it looks like there's gonna be gain come out of it in the end. It's a new project that's gonna come out of it. If it's work, there's gonna be something comes out of it. You got the Princess of Wands there with the 9 of Discs, which is gain, and then the Empress, which is a new project. Being pregnant, I hate to say it, but it could end up being pregnant. No doubt about that. If it is that you're trying to heal a relationship and you're getting back together with an ex or something like that, If you ain't trying to get pregnant, be careful, because you could definitely end up being pregnant, or vice versa, getting someone pregnant if you're a male. But either way, it's most likely just a new project that you're working on. It's whatever this is that you're working on. You could be worried about it, like you don't feel like it's paying off, or it's not, the project isn't going the way you wanted to or as fast as you wanted to, and you're not really seeing results. But saying if you keep working, you're going to get your gain, and you're going to have a whole new project. And saying be passionate about it. Come at it like a child. Come at it with this kind of vigor, this kind of fire, and it'll work out. All right. With all that being said, it's a time for healing, either relationship or financial situation specifically, or a mixture of those two things. Either way, Aries, that's all I have for you. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. It helps the algorithm. It took me a while to get back from Seattle and then recover from sickness, so I've kind of been missing some readings. Otherwise, I would have had one done earlier for the new moon, but this is going to be for the full moon. Anyway, Aries, thanks for being here.